Wacken 2025 hier in der EMP Backstage Club Area. Hoher Besuch aus Finnland, APOCALYPTICA! Heika und Pavo!
Thank you.
Great to have you here, guys. Under kind of difficult circumstances, especially for you, the cello is your instrument. Is it tricky when it's so humid and wet?
You know, we have used to this kind of weather in Finland. So, yeah, we don't feel homesick.
Yeah, we actually feels great because all the festivals this summer we have played all around Europe, it's been basically at least 35 degrees warm and sunshine. It's been terrible. So this is great.
Feels like home.
Yes.
Frisch.
And of course, cellos, they affect very much the weather effects. The humidity is not good, but you know the heat is not good either. So it's almost never good for them. So it's okay.
But do you have different equipment for touring and the studio?
Yeah, mostly we have like a proper cellos for studio, and for live use we use not our gig cellos.
Yeah, but for example, Perttu, who plays the lead, he likes to play the same cello in studio that he plays live. And we have a little bit different bows, but it's more or less the same stuff. But of course, if we have in studio, if we have old valuable instruments, of course we don't bring them into these kind of conditions. Not even a club tour, you know, it can be in a rock club, it can be super hot and humid. So we have educated our instruments to operate in Wacken.
Well, in the first place, you became famous with doing cello versions of Metallica songs. But then you turned to your own material and resisted to come with a follow-up. But last year it was about time. And finally, APOCALYPTICA Plays Metallica Volume 2.
Good.
What made your mind change to do a follow-up?
It didn't really change because since the very first album, we were thinking one day we want to make another one. There were so many cool Metallica songs we couldn't play on that time when we did the first album. But it took all this time, almost 30 years, until it started to feel like an exciting challenge. You know, it felt suddenly, after Cell Zero album, it felt like making a new Metallica album is step forward and not backwards. It's kind of a big challenge to reinvent what it means when APOCALYPTICA Plays Metallica 2024-25. It started to excite us because we still love the music and there were so many songs we wanted to play. And it was interesting though that some of the songs we really wanted to play, they didn't end up in the album because we found that our version is nothing special. You know, it's because it's a good Metallica song, but APOCALYPTICA version is not really exciting enough. So it became really reinventing the wheel, you know.
And for this album, we wanted to show the people what we have learned during these 30 years.
Yeah, couldn't do
maybe nothing, but it's changed a little bit.
Yeah, you have very outstanding specials on the record. For example, you were allowed to use the original bass tracks of Cliff Burton. Wow.
Yes.
Just wow. How did you do that?
It was in general, when we started to work on this album, we had no plans to involve Metallica in any ways, except just we told them that, okay, we are working on the album. But then when working on the music, some cool ideas started to pop up. And for example, what you mentioned, the Cliff Burton thing, for me personally, Call of Cthulhu has been one of favorite tracks from Metallica. And I just a couple of years ago, I realized that all these cool sounds, well, they are magical in that. I realized that those sounds are actually from Cliff Burton. And I was like, wow, it would be so cool, you know, if we could get the original track and make around it. And when we had all these ideas, you know, having a narrator in one and a bass feature for Horseman, then I messaged Lars and I was like, okay, can we have a chat? I want to tell you, you know, what's going on. And I was just presenting these ideas to him that, okay, we've been thinking this and that, and just to check, you know, if they like the ideas. And something that Lars was like, especially for Cliff Burton, he was like, oh, I always love that you guys do think out of the box, but it might be impossible because we need to figure out the permission from Cliff Burton's family. We need to figure out the label rights. You know, there are so many contractual things that are around his recording, you know, from '84. Stars were aligned and things happened, and you know, we got it. It's like it's never heard. Like even Trujillo or Rob told me when he was in the studio recording bass for Horseman. He was like, "These guys, they really must love you, Eka, because this is this never heard that this kind of thing would happen. But I think we have built with Metallica over these decades, very respectful relationship, a good friendship with them, and we always been very grateful since the very first album. Metallica gave a lot of great comments, positive comments. They praised the first album and stuff. So we've been always very grateful for everything we have gotten from Metallica. And we never felt that we want anything from them. And even this time, we didn't go that, hey guys, do you want to participate? It was more like, hey, we think this would be fucking cool. What do you guys think? And they were like, oh yeah, let's make these things happen.
Didn't you play on Lars Ulrich's wedding?
Yeah, I played, yeah. Alone, I played all the ceremony music there. Yes.
But at least they can do you a favor as well.
Yeah. What happens in final end as an artist, and especially when you do a long career, it's like you want to do things which feel cool, which are fun to do, like spark some joy. And especially when it comes to Metallica, they don't need to do anything for money. The money is the least motivating thing. They do only because things that they like to do, what excites them. And I think Apocalyptica, we have also really gotten into, we always try to maintain that, and the longer the Apocalyptica's career has become, the more we feel more confident. We feel that, okay, we do only things that actually is fun to do. It doesn't mean that sometimes it's challenging and it's hard work, it's not like, oh, let's be lazy. But we go only into projects that we are excited about, that gives us joy. So it's never about how much we earn out of it. So, and then I think the cool things happen when you do it for the right motivation, or for the joy of doing the actual thing. And I think that applies to everything in life.
And about the Metallica guys, even they are huge, big stars. They are normal people in the final end.
Yeah.
Like you, of course. Yeah. Like even though you are still very young, you have a very eventful life, living on the fast lane, and then you wrote a biography and released it. How was that when you just think about all the steps in your life when you just rushed through it?
Yeah, that was an interesting process, and it felt like being in 8 hours a day in psychotherapy, going through your life. And I know it was a partly very uncomfortable process. And many times I was wondering, why the fuck am I doing this? What's the thing? But then I came in the final and I realized, okay, if something that has happened in my life and what we have gone through as a band, as person, if that can inspire people, to do some positive change in life, then it's worth it. But if I'm honest, when I look back to the book, I go, okay, I have done guys few things, I don't know. It just for me personally, it was kind of my checking point in life in general, and it kind of my friend wanted to. He was pushing me, made it long time to do it, and I always felt that no, it's that kind of autobiography things up for people when they are on their sunset, phase, and. But then the COVID happens, and there was time, and I couldn't have that as an excuse not to go for it. So I did it.
But I can imagine you're very proud of your career when you have so many ticks on your bucket list.
I don't know how we're so proud about it. Sometimes we are proud, but we are like amazed and so grateful. Like, for example, this summer, like being here in Wacken, it's our probably 5th time that after all these years,
when we started, we thought that to have only one album and play a couple of shows. Now almost after 30 years, we are still here. How many times we have played here in Wacken? Maybe 5 or 6 times, even more.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thankful for everything, and we have always lived like a step by step and not really making like a master plan for the future, and everything what has been given for us, we have been really like happy and thankful.
No, and honestly, we think that we as the band, Apocalyptica as the band, we are living the best times. That we're having a good time together. We are very inspired to figure out new challenges and find new ways to make music. And it feels amazing. Like we played in Hellfest, and then we realized, oh fuck, we played the first Hellfest ever. Then we played the Download in UK this summer, and we realized, oh, there were only 3 bands on that week this year in Download who played the first Download, and Apocalyptica was one of that. And we're like, it's fucking insane, that we are still here, and like now you people are there, listening to our chatting. So, woo! So thank you so much. So that's amazing.
Thank you so much for being here. Apocalyptica!
Thank you.